Hi, and welcome to the class. Okay, so today we will continue our lesson with chapter 4, which is the leadership and the project manager. Okay, so these are the learning objective. Okay, so understand how project management is a leader intensive profession, distinguish the role of manager and characteristic of leader. Okay, understand key behavior in which project leader engage to support the project, okay, and etc. Okay, so these are the learning objective for this chapter. All right. Okay, when we talk about leadership, we have to understand what is leadership. Okay, so leadership is the ability to inspire, confidence, and support among people who are needed to achieve organizational goal. Okay, so as a leader, you must be able to encourage people. Okay, you must be able to be a role model and encourage people to be like you. Okay, so that is leadership. Okay, so basically, leadership is being a role model and at the same time able to persuade others to follow your your example. Okay, so in project management, okay, it is important to have a good leadership skill. Okay, because project management is leader intensive. Okay, so because if you cannot be a leader in a project, okay, your project might facing with delay, okay, or you might facing with any problem, okay, during the project duration. Okay, so to be a good project manager, you must have a good leadership skill. Okay, okay, so there are a bit difference between leaders and managers. Okay, so leaders must be able to exchange of purpose. Okay, so you must be able to not only monitoring people, you must be able to exchange the purpose. Means that you must be able to uh show the people what is the purpose that you look into the people. You have to exchange. You must be able to exchange. Okay, you not only directing, you must exchange. Okay, when we're talking about exchange, first of all you must do it, okay, and then let people understand how to do it, and then you also lead them how to do the job. Okay, so you must be able to do that. Okay, and then as a leader you have a right to say no. Okay, or right, so you must okay, as a leader, okay, it is possible for your followers to say no. Okay, but most of the manager, they don't take no as an answer. Okay, so these are the differences between leaders and managers. Okay, so you must be able to accept no as an answer. Okay, and then when your followers, okay, your team said no, okay, you must be able to accept their alternative, okay, in an open-minded vision. Okay, all right, and then joint accountability. Okay, so leader, they not only distribute the responsibility, okay, and at the same time as a leader you also hold responsibility to your teammates. Okay, so this is what we here they said the number two difference between leader and manager. Joint accountability means that if anything happen, okay, the leaders will also take blame for the followers or for the members. Okay, so different with managers, most of the time manager will blame others when they do something wrong. Okay, they are not putting the blame to themselves. Okay, so these are the differences between leaders and managers. Okay, and then number four is absolute honesty. Okay, so as a leader, because you are role model, you must show the best of you to your members. Okay, to your followers. Okay, so when we're talking about honesty, okay, we always want people to be honest, okay, with us. Okay, so in order for others to be honest to us, we also must be honest to them. Okay, so this is another part where managers are lacking. Okay, most of the time, so managers they tend to hide something from the staff. Okay, for example, they have given some because most of the time managers they also taking taking instruction from the above, okay, from the top management. So when they spread to their staff or to their workers, okay, there are something that they are not submit to them because some is a confidential, etc. lah, okay. But if you are leaders, okay, you must be able to be honest to your staff, okay. Maybe so for example, your top management want to cut the budget, okay. So as a manager, most of the time they will not tell their workers about it. Okay, maybe they try to find something else, okay. And they try to find excuses, okay, anything to hide it, okay. But as a leaders, okay, so you should being honest with the staff, okay. Maybe because okay, they have to be honest with the staff, okay. The company, the top management want to cut costs, okay. They want to cut labors, okay. So maybe you will have your salary reduced, okay. So you being honest with them, okay. So this is another difference between leaders and managers, okay. All right. Okay. So these are the details, okay. The extension, okay. So this figure show you the more differences between leaders and manager. For example, the first thing is leader do the right thing while manager do things right. Okay, then leaders develop new process while manager maintain the status quo. Okay, leaders are innovate. Uh, leaders doing innovate. Okay, leaders innovate while managers only administrator. Okay, leaders are originate or creating something new while managers only imitate or repeating things that already proven. Okay, and then leaders earn their position while managers state their position, and the rest. Okay, so you can read through the figure. All right. So how the project manager lead? Okay, project manager function as a mini CEOs and manage both hard technical detail and soft people issues. Okay, so project manager acquire project resources, motivate and build team, have a vision and fight fires, and the most important thing, you must be able to communicate. Okay, so you as a project manager, you are the CEO because you are the leader of the project. Okay, without you, the project will collapse. Okay, you have to understand that. Okay, so okay, so as a project manager, you must be able to lead. Okay, if you cannot lead, then all the group will collapse. Okay, so you must run your roles. Okay, all right. So you must be able to you must have the technical knowledge, okay, to instruct or to give guidance to your members, your team members, and at the same time you must also have the soft skill or the people skill where you can uh, disseminate the information, okay, effectively to your teammates. Okay, so that is how you as a project manager leads your project team. Okay. All right. So here they already stated you as a project manager, you have four function. First is acquire project resources. Okay, and then second one to motivate and build your teams. Okay, and then you must have, okay, the third one, must have a vision and must be able to fight fires. Okay, and then lastly, you must be able to communicate. Okay, so first of all, we go to the first one, acquiring resources. Okay, projects are underfunded for a variety of reasons. Vague goal, lack of top management support, requirements understated, insufficient fund, and distrust between managers. Okay, so as a manager, as a project manager, you must be able to acquire the resources. You must be able to convince your top management, and you must be able to convince your client. Okay, in funding the project, or else the project will not run. Okay, so you have to understand that. Okay, so there are multiple reasons why some projects are underfunded. Is that the budget, the project budget is lower than what they expected. Okay, all right. So they have various reasons. Okay, the most critical reason is big goal. Is that your goal is not clear enough and not detailed enough for the client to be convinced by your project. Okay, by your project proposal. Okay, and then the lack of support. Okay, all of that, okay, requires the soft skill or the people skill to convince people to fund or to invest in your project. Okay, so when you want to, okay, purpose of meeting. Okay, so when you want to run your project, okay, most of the time you will have meetings. Okay, you will start your project with meetings. Okay, so in a project management, you will have lots and lots and lots of meetings. Okay, so you have to define what is the purpose of your meeting. Okay, so what is the purpose of meeting in project management? First of all, you want to define your project and also your team players who will involve in the project. Okay, and then the meeting also will provide opportunity to revise, update, and add to knowledge base. Okay, so you will use meeting to update the status, the knowledge, the technology you use. Okay, so anything to add on to your project value. Okay, and then the third purpose of meeting is to assist team member in understanding role in project as part of whole and how to contribute to project success. Okay, so you also will use the meeting to brief your members what is their role, what is their responsibility, so they can clearly understand what is your expectation from them for the project. Okay, and then the fourth one is to help stakeholder increase commitment to project. Okay, so this one is more on the negotiation part of the project management, where you you conduct a meeting with your stakeholders, okay, to negotiate with them. Maybe you want to increase their funding, you want to increase the resources. Okay, so you seek for their approval. Okay, so that is the fourth reason why you need meetings in project management. Okay, and then number five, provide a collective opportunity to discuss project. Okay, so meeting also is a part of discussion table for the project. Okay, and then the last one, to provide visibility for project manager role. Okay, so without a meeting, people will not see you. People cannot see what you do in the project. Okay, because you as a project manager, you are not doing the job. Okay, you are not running the project. Okay, you what you do is you plan and you mitigate. Okay, and then you assign. Okay, all those things happen in meeting. Okay, so without a meeting, okay, you people cannot see what is your role in the project. Okay, all right. Okay, and then communication. Okay, so communication is the basis of the project management. Without communication, you cannot run the project. Why? Because in project we have lots of people from various function. We have HR, we have sales, we have sorry, we have the technical, we have the logistic people, we have the finance people, we have legal people. Okay, so we have lots of people from various function. Okay, so if you cannot communicate effectively to deliver whatever instruction, whatever knowledge to the personnel, yeah, it will become a disaster for the project, because people maybe will misunderstood your your instruction. Okay, they will do the opposite thing that you want them to do. Okay, so it is critical for a project manager to maintain strong contact with all stakeholders. Okay, so not only with your workers, you also must be able to communicate effectively with your client. Okay, so your client must know what is the status, what is the value of the project, okay, what are the current progress of the project, okay, how much money you already spent, okay, how much money maybe you need to top up your project, okay. So you must be able to effectively communicate with them. Okay, so project meeting feature task oriented and group maintenance behavior. Okay, so in meeting we have uh, okay, we have two functions. Okay, the project meeting will behave, okay, either is a task oriented, okay, or group method, okay. Will okay, the project meeting will behave in a task oriented and group maintenance behavior. Okay, so group task oriented behavior means that you give instruction, okay, and then group maintenance means that you how you want to maintain the group, because with the meeting you can solve the misunderstanding between person. You also will solve any conflict between each parties. Okay, so you use project okay, sorry, you use a meeting in a project, okay, to give instruction, and also at the same time to solve any issues in your project. Okay, all right. Okay, so these are the some of the task-oriented behavior that can appear in a meeting. Okay, first is structuring process, where you want to guide and sequence the discussion. Okay, and then stimulating communication to increase information exchange, clarifying communication to increase comprehension, summarizing to check on understanding and assess progress, and lastly is to testing consensus to check on agreement. Okay, so these are the task-oriented behavior. These are the tasks that will happen in the project meeting. Okay, and then these are the group maintenance behavior that will happen in the project meeting. First is gatekeeping to increase and equalize participation, harmonizing, reduce tension and hostility, supporting, prevent withdrawal, encourage exchange, setting standard to regulate behavior, and lastly, analyzing process to discover and resolve process problem. So like I said before, we use the meeting in the project, first of all, to disseminate the instruction, and also at the same time to solve any conflict, okay, and then to harmonize your team, okay. Okay, so what are the characteristics of effective project manager? Okay, so to be an effective or to be a good project manager, these are the most common characteristic you should have, okay, to be a good project manager. First of all, you must be able to lead by example. You must be the role model for your team. Okay, so you must have the visionary, or you must have the target. You must be able to visualize what is your target, okay, from the project. Okay, you must be also technically competent, means that you must have the technical knowledge to support your team members. Okay, you must be a decisive people, means that you can make you are a good decision maker. Okay, and then you must be a good communicator, good motivator. Okay, you must also be able to stand up to top management when necessary. Means that you must be able to defend your team and your project, okay, when your team management fires you. Okay, so you must be able to defend your team and also your project. Okay, and then you must be able to support your team members. Okay, so you must have a teamwork, you must have a teamwork quality. Okay, and then you also must be an open-minded person, so that you can encourage new ideas. Okay, because when we run the project, sometimes people will have better ideas, okay, to making the project much better, okay, to improve the project output. Okay, so you must be an open-minded person, so that you can accept the idea and make some changes to your project. Okay, okay, so these are the characteristic of a bad project manager. Okay, so this the most of all is a opposite of what being listed here. Okay, for example, set by example, not self-assured, lack technical expertise, not good communicator, okay, poor motivator, lack lack of top management support. Okay, not it's a close-minded person. Okay, resistant to change, inconsistent reward system, a reactive orientation rather than proactive planning one. Okay, lack of resources. Okay, so this more on the opposite side. Okay, of a good project manager. Okay, leadership and emotional intelligence. Okay, so emotional intelligence refer to leader ability to understand that effective leadership is part of emotional and relational transaction between subordinate and themselves. Okay, so when we're talking about leadership, okay, you also will touch on the emotional intelligence. Okay, so an emotional intelligent person, okay, he must be able to see that in order for you to lead, in order for you to influence people, you must touch them on the emotional part. Okay, because we as a human being, an emotional we are an emotional being. Okay, so if you can, if you are able to touch the emotion part of ourselves, okay, then you most likely can convince people to follow your leads. Okay, so there are 5 elements that characterize emotional intelligence. First is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill. Okay, so to be a good leader, you must have, okay, you must have these 5 elements in your characteristic. Okay, you must be self-aware. Okay, you must know yourself. Okay, you must know your strength. You must know your weaknesses. Okay, you must know who you can work with, who you cannot work with. So you must understand yourself first. Okay, and then self-regulation. Self-regulation is your discipline. Okay, you must be a disciplined person. Okay, and then you must have a high motivation and can motivate others. Okay, and then you must be empathy. Means that you can put your you can understand the situation, the people you're talking with. Okay, you can put yourself in their shoes. You must be able to understand their situation. Okay, so that is empathy. And lastly, you must have a good social skill. Okay, you must be able to communicate, you must be able to socialize. Okay, so you must have the social skill. All right. Okay, so one study on effective project leadership revealed this common characteristic. Okay, so there are studies have been done before, okay, on effective project leadership. Okay, and then from the study, they find out that these are the most common characteristic of a good, the most common characteristic of an effective project leader. First is credibility. You must have credible. You must have credibility. Means that people know you are competent. People know you have a good you are a good you have a good not values, you have good traits. Okay, so you must have credibility for others to trust you as a leader. Okay, and then second characteristic is a creative problem solver. Okay, so you're not only solving the problem, you must also think creatively how to solve the problem. Okay, because some problem when you run the project, some problem are very hard or very difficult to tackle. Okay, so you must be a creative person. You must think from various perspective on how to solve the problem. Okay, you must be a creative one. And then tolerance for ambiguity. Okay, so when you run a project, okay, there are lots of uncertainty or something that you don't know. Okay, so when you start a project, there are lots of things that you don't know will happen. Okay, you can predict, but you don't know either it will happen or not. Okay, so you must be able to accept the uncertainties of the project, or else you cannot take the risk. Okay, you yourself, you cannot put yourself there to take the risk. Okay, so you must be a risk taker. Okay, you must be a risk taker to be an effective project leader, but uh not a risk taker. You must be a calculative risk taker. You must know. how much risk you are taking. You must know. Okay. And then number 4, flexible management style. Okay. And then lastly, effective communication skill. All right. So these are the essential ability. Okay. A project manager should have. Okay. You must be able to organize under conflict. Okay. And then you must have experience. Okay. Without experience, okay, it is hard for you to manage a project. Okay. So for those who don't have, for the new personnel, okay, who involved in the project management, it is advisable to seek for, okay, to be a team members for any project first. Okay, maybe after 3 to 4 project, okay, and you see you are competent enough to be a project manager, maybe after that you can apply for project manager position. Okay, so experience is important because many times, okay, the project manager will make a decision based on their experience. Okay, so you must understand experience also play a role in becoming a good project manager. Okay, all right, and then you must be able to make a decision. Okay, and then you must be a productive and creative people. Okay, and then you must be able to organize with cooperation, means that you must be able to seek agreement with your team members. Okay, making the the you are not making the decision by yourself. Okay, you must discuss your decision. Okay, let the team knows what you want to decide, discuss with them. Okay, maybe after your discussion you will find better solution for your problem. Okay, and then you must be able to cooperate with your team members when you are leading them. Okay, and then lastly, you must be able to thinking integratively, means that you must not only thinking from one function. For example, you are from engineering, you are okay, based on your previous experience is in engineering aspect. Okay, you cannot think only from the engineering perspective. You also must think it from the management. You must also think the situation from the management side, maybe from the logistic side, maybe from the HR side, maybe from the legal side. Okay, so you must be able to think integratively. Okay, so you must be able to view the situation from multiple function. Okay, from multiple function. Okay, you must be able to integrate. Okay, you are not only thinking from one function only. Okay, you must think in the whole, as a whole. Okay, as a whole project. Okay, where you integrate multiple function in the project. All right. Okay, so what are project champion? Okay, so project champion is one of the term. Okay, so champion are fanatics in single-minded pursuit of their pet ideas. Okay, champion can be a creative originator, entrepreneur, godfather, or sponsor, or project manager. Okay, so champion means that you are eager to strive to be the number one. Okay, so when we talk about a project manager, you must have the patience to be the number one. You must be able to be the best. Okay, so when you have the eager or the patient to be the best, okay, subconsciously you also will try to do the best for your project. Okay, so what are the roles of the champion? Okay, so they must have the technical skill. Okay, they must also be able to have the leadership. Okay, they also must be able to coordinate and control the process. Okay, they also must be able to obtain the resources for the project. Okay, and then they also must have the skill, okay, administrative skill. Okay, for the documentation, for the procedure, and etc. Okay, and then you also must be able to cheerleader, means that if somebody achieve something from the project, you must celebrate. Okay, you must be able to uh, being happy. You must be able to be happy. Okay, for others success. Okay, right. So that is a cheerleader. All right. And then visionary, again, you must be able to visualize your success. Politician, okay, so you must be able to negotiate, okay, because politician here, because you are playing, okay, you are playing politics with your client and also your top management, so you must be able to negotiate with them, okay, you must be a politician, okay. And then you must be able, you are a risk taker, okay, because when you run a project, there are some risks that you must take, okay, for the project, okay, you must be a risk taker. And lastly, you are an ambassador, because you are the leader of the project, okay. So you are the brand of the project, okay. So if you cannot carry yourself good enough, okay, for your audience, okay, so they will think that your project also are not good enough for them, okay. So you must be a good ambassador for your project. Okay, so how to create project champion? You have to identify, encourage their emergence, okay, encourage and reward risk taker, remember the emotional connection, and lastly, free champion from traditional project management duties. Okay, so this is how you want to create a project champion from your project manager. Okay, okay. So four competency determine a project leader success. Okay, all right. So there are four factors that will determine either a project project leader can success or fail. Okay, so first of all, understand and practice the power of appreciation. Okay, so you as a project leader, you must be able to appreciate others, okay, because you are not only leading them, you're also working with them, okay. If you cannot appreciate your team members, okay, then they will think that they are not significant enough for your project, okay, then maybe they will left your project, okay. So try to appreciate your team members, okay. And then you must also remind people what is important, okay. So you must be a visionary so that you can share your vision to your team members, okay, so that they are always reminded what are the targets of the project, what is the important aspect of the project, okay. And then number three, generate and sustain trust, okay. You must be able to gain trust from your team members, okay, and then also you must be able to sustain them, okay. And then lastly, align with the leader, okay. All right. So right management choices in international setting, okay. For project management on the international level, okay, so we have several guidelines, okay. So first of all, you have to develop a detailed understanding of the environment, okay. So these are the guidelines when you want to go for international project, okay. So when you want to go for international project, first of all, you must understand what kind of environment you will dealing with, okay. Because when you go for international level, when you go to other country, okay, you will facing with different culture, you will facing with different demographic, okay. So before this, maybe you are from Europe, so you are dealing with white people, okay. And then you go to the Africa, now you are dealing with black people. They will have different culture, they will have different perspective, okay. So you have to understand what are their culture, what are their perspective, what they want from the project, okay. What do you want, okay, what, not from your side but from their side, so you have to understand, okay. And then you cannot be a stereotype, okay. You cannot think that you know everything and the people from the other country don't know, so you have to be superior from them. You cannot think like that, okay. So you cannot be a stereotype person, okay. And then be genuinely interested in cultural differences, okay. So you must take uh opportunity, okay, and then take a step to understand their culture, okay. Do not, and then number four, do not assume there is one way, okay, your way to communicate, okay. So you cannot think that the way you communicate is the best for for the project. Okay, because we don't you don't understand how they communicate in their country. So you have to understand what how they communicate. Maybe they, instead of writing email, they prefer to writing mails. Okay, so you have to follow the way they communicate. Okay, so you have to write a letter explaining to them, okay, what this letter is about. Okay, instead of you send them email and then you assume that they understand. Okay, so don't think that your way of communication is the right way for you to communicate with them. Okay, and then last one, listen actively and empathically. Okay, so you have to listen to whatever they want to communicate with you. Okay, don't be a stereotype. You think that you are superior to them. Okay, so you only think about yourself. Okay, and you didn't listen to whatever feedback they give to you. Okay, so you have to listen actively to your team members. Okay, so project work is becoming the standard for many organizations. Okay, so nowadays many organizations they implement project work in their workflow. Because why? Because project work can shorten the shorten the duration for for new development, especially for the products and also for software. Okay, so that's why they start to change the way how they develop a product or software from the traditional way. Now they change into a project, Okay, so when you want to develop a new product, they tend to use project. Okay, they create the new product development into a project. Okay, so it's becoming a new standard for the industry. It's becoming more and more normal. Okay, becoming more and more prominent in the industry. Okay, so there is a critical need to upgrade the skill of current project workers. Project manager and support personnel need dedicated career path. Okay, how to create project manager? Okay, so this is the step. Okay, so this is the way how you want to create a good project manager. So match personality with project work. Okay, means that you must check. Okay, whatever project you want to do, is it match with your personality? Okay, and then formalize commitment to project work with training program. Develop a unique reward system, and then identify a distinct career path. Okay, all right. Okay, okay, based on the project management book. Okay, to be a good project manager, you must have this code of ethics. Okay, so Project Management Institute, they already outlines code of ethics for project manager. Because so there are four code of ethics a project manager must follow. First of all, the project manager must be a responsible person. Okay, so the project manager also must respect others. And then the third one, the project manager must be fair to all team members. So he cannot play uh, he cannot play he cannot pit he cannot be unfair to the team members. Okay, he cannot play favorites. Okay, he cannot play favorites with their team members. Okay, so he must be fair to all team members. Okay, and then lastly, he also must be an honest person. Okay, so these are the four code of ethics a project manager should have. Okay, based on Project Management Institute code of ethics. Okay, okay, so that is the basic. Okay, the basic code of ethics a project manager should have. Okay, and then we also, okay, then the project manager must have other positive ethics lah. Okay, to be a good project manager. Okay, all right. So the ethics, okay, when you run a project, okay, can be differentiate, okay, can be put into two category. First is normative ethics. Another one is behavioral ethics. Okay, so what is normative ethics? Okay, so normative ethics is what will a person or organization do in a given situation. Okay, so normative ethics is a ethical value, okay, that you apply according to the situation. Okay, so and then behavioral ethics is why do people behave the way they do in the workplace. Okay, so behavioral ethics is based on your values, okay, based on your behavior. Okay, because every people they have their own personalities, right? So they also have their own values that they hold. Okay, so you will show your ethic based on the value that you hold. Okay, so that is behavioral ethics. Okay, okay. And then the most important part, okay, of being project manager is to avoid unethical behavior. Okay, so there are many unethical behavior that happen in the project. Okay, especially if we talk about a project, a government project. Okay, so these are the common things. Okay, so corruption is everywhere. Okay, it's just that how you want. Okay, how you want to avoid it, and either you want to avoid it or not. Okay, so as a good project manager, you should avoid any unethical behavior from corrupting your project. Okay, so corruption is the abuse of entrust power for private gain. Okay, so you must avoid corruption. Okay, so what is corruption? Corruption is any abuse of an entrusted power for private gain. Okay, for example, okay, so corruption can be differentiated, okay, can be categorized into two category. First is petty corruption, where everyday abuse of power by low-level official with ordinary citizen. Okay, and then it's a grand corruption committed by relevant institute such as government, corporation, and or legal bodies. Okay, so these are the type of corruption that can happen in the project. Okay, bribery. Okay, when you want to bribe person, maybe you want to get a project, a government project, so you give bribery to the person in charge. Okay, extortion, fraud, abuse of power, embezzlement, conflict of interest, and nepotism. So these are the common type of corruption that can happen in a project. Okay, all right, so that's all for this chapter.